If someone puts me, like drafts me in the military, I'm so sorry. I'm running the other way.
Do you think that men have a duty to defend you while you sleep? Do you think that men would be cowards if they did not go to the draft?
I don't necessarily think they'd be cowards.
Well, then who would protect you?
Couldn't tell you.
Do you think that men have a responsibility to show up for the draft if they're drafted? To defend the nation and make sure that you're protected?
Yes.
Well, then how come you don't?
If men who aren't drafted in the military don't protect us, I don't know who's going to protect us.
Right. So if they have that responsibility and they're cowards if they don't go to the draft, right? Somebody has to go. You prefer that it's them over you, right?
Yes.
That doesn't sound very equal. You're talking about feminism being part of this equality and anti-patriarchy. It would appear that the patriarchy is necessary because you want them to go and fight wars on your behalf so that you can sleep at night without having any troubles, right? And you don't want to go fight those wars.
Are you saying now that you don't have girls as friends? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, platonic female friends? Absolutely not, no.
You don't at all?
No. What ends up happening a lot of times when you have female friends is you end up being her emotional tampon. You end up being her solution provider. You end up being her masculine energy. You end up being a lot of boyfriend traits to that girl, inevitably, because it's just a male instinct, right? They've done this too. Why did women not be allowed in the military infantry for so long? Because men have a natural provider and protector instinct. When a woman is, getting attacked in combat or whatever, men are going to spring to action to try to help her and compromise the unit. So this is why women have been kept out of infantry and combat position for so long. So I say all that to say this. If you end up as a friend with a female, you're inevitably going to take on boyfriend traits, whether you want to or not, naturally. But her end, she's not necessarily obligated to give you any type of sexual access. So what's happening is it's a one-sided relationship, which a lot of girls that are, put guys in a friend zone, they're able to benefit and get the benefits without the guy getting what he wants. All of you guys right now probably have at least one or two guys that's in the friend zone that would hook up with you in an instant if you called them, but you would never hook up with them. But you're still able to siphon off benefit from them. Men, we don't get it that way. So I look at it like, from a logically sound perspective, am I going to be friends with a female when I know for a fact I'm not going to get any type of reciprocation? And then on top of that, it's someone that can't identify with my masculine problems. It's an L for me altogether.
And that's why. Another reason why men don't want their girlfriend or wife with the boy best friend.
Thank you.
So they're building a house on the lot next to me, and this morning the framers were there working when my dick appointment left. Well, the same guys were still there when my soon-to-be ex-husband showed up to work on my house. They probably think that I'm a whore, but I am.
Hi. Hi. What you doing?
Reading.
I left you alone for 5 minutes and you spent $873? You left me alone in a Costco.
If a guy is giving you too much attention, what does that do for you?
Major turnoff.
Why?
I think it's, I don't know, it's kind of unhealthy to say, but there's just like too much of a good thing, not a good thing. There's no chase. There's no grab point. So
because it maybe feels like validation seeking. They're checking in all the time to see.
Yeah. Or oftentimes it can come off as controlling. What are you doing? What are you up to?
Okay.
I've been stung by a wasp! I've been stung by a...
Killer, West Side Killer.
Why do you think it's a bad deal for you?
Why do I have marriage? Once you get married, you have community property. So once the marriage starts, everything that you, like from that point moving forward, that's shared. In the event of a divorce, there is some bias in the court system against men, but there's also just the financial cost of a divorce. Now, I'm not 100% certain if it's the case in the divorce, for example, if you're the breadwinner, I think you not only would have to pay your attorney, you'd have to pay for her attorney. Attorneys typically charge $200 to $300 an hour. Divorces are typically not cheap. They drag on for years. Anything related to litigation or court system is rather not just financially taxing, but is rather just mentally draining and mentally distracting. Whereas you could have perhaps a more clean split if you weren't tied in a marriage. There's that, there's alimony, of course, and then there's, of course, child support, but that's not really related to marriage because you can have children outside of wedlock and child support can come into the picture whether you're married or not. So there's alimony, there's the legal costs, and then there's the community property component of it where you could be giving her essentially half of everything you've earned during the course of the marriage.
All that work and what did it get me?
In case if you can't read the small text, it says, you slept with 164 guys only to gain experience and learn how to satisfy your future husband, but he hates women with high body counts. Most women don't need so-called experience in the bedroom. All they have to do is lay on their back and open their legs. The experience she should have gotten was the cooking and cleaning. Men aren't dreaming about marrying bed wenches. Only simps idolize the bedroom and looks over everything else. I'm sure at this point, she can perform as good as streetwalkers in the bedroom. But that's not marriage quality. It's fun quality, like a one-night stand type shit. And notice she looks like a good girl. Someone who's not red-pilled is going to get conned by her. That's why these Decepticons who are about to hit the wall and will target younger men who don't have enough experience with women to know better. Top comment says, that's not why you did it. Exactly. There's no way she'd want to satisfy the simp that she tricks into marriage, also known as the 304 retirement plan, unless if she wants to pee-whip him. Females in the West will use their box as an ATM card. These Decepticons will sleep with men that they'll never be attracted to just to manipulate them even more. For more free relationship benefits out of them, or convince them to sign the 304 retirement plan, also known as a marriage, or to get child support for 18 years, also known as baby trapping. To answer the comment, she racked up a high body count because she's a 304. Finding a husband was the last thing on her mind when she hooked up like it's the end of the world. Second most liked comment says, most men value purity, not a toilet. Couldn't have said it better. The best way to pleasure your future husband is to keep your damn legs closed. He doesn't want a cum dumpster. Pathetic how she even tries to make it reasonable. It's more like she's having her epiphany phase and now regrets what she did, only because it has consequences, which is, she realizes that she'll probably be single for the rest of her life.
I'm sorry. Not everybody fits in the bad bitch genre. It's a genre. Not everybody fits on the roster.
Can someone tell me why it still hurts even when like you're getting back into dating and you feel more mature and you end things with someone after like a couple of dates? And like I've been on like 3 dates recently, like 3 dates with 3 different guys, but I've gone on like second dates with all of them, second or third dates, and I ended it with one guy, the other guy ended it with me, but I was gonna end it with him anyway, so that was mutual. And this other guy, you just can tell he doesn't feel it. And like I thought that because I'm more mature and because it's mutual, or because I'm making the decision, that it would be less hard and I would be less sad because it's early on and stuff. But I think when it's just stacked on top of each other, like it adds up. Like, why am I crying? Like, does anybody else feel this way? Even just like when you feel like you're mostly healed and you're going back into dating, like why does it still fucking hurt? I hate it out here.
So she wrote in the video description, I'm cringe but I hate dating, hashtag dating 101, hashtag dating in your 20s, hashtag NYC dating. To answer her question, women aren't built to sleep around. That's why her body becomes sad, to signal to her to get back with the last man she was with. The only problem is the guy moved on because she didn't know how to keep, and there's no one around to encourage her to keep a relationship. This seems to be a good sign that she can still pair bond, but it sounds like she's not taking the hint from her body that she can't be breaking these bonds, because she just quote-unquote dated 3 guys in a row. And I use the word dated loosely, because it means in 304 code that she could have slept with them, especially after a breakup, for a rebound. Eventually, if she continues to sleep around, her emotional connection to each relationship will go away until every new guy will just be a swinging dick to her. This is why at least 25% of women in the feminist West are on some type of drug to suppress the emotional damage that comes with being a 304, along with anti-anxiety drugs which suppresses the body from feeling guilt for being an HOE. The top comment says, try just dating one person at a time instead of multiple. It's crazy how people serial date these days. Yeah, and this is why I tell men to stop giving free relationship benefits to women, because it gives them an incentive to date more men at once, to have their whole life catered to. This includes your time and attention. If she doesn't clearly express that she's only talking to you, then you're probably one of the many men she's using to fill up her empty life. 3 at a time, good lord. A verified TikTok thought comments, I believe being able to make these hard decisions is a sign you're getting closer to your person. Many people stay in relationships or keep dating people they know aren't right for them. Nah, the closest she'd ever get to her person was when she was a virgin, but she probably threw that away for some high school chat at a party. The more these females date, the more entitled they become because they're able to experience the best qualities and dating benefits from men. So anything less, as in an average guy's benefits, is a letdown. Nothing will impress and woo her if she gets flown out to an exotic location by a pro athlete. Hey, don't worry, it gets even worse in your 30s. She's definitely going to make a video asking where are the good guys once she hits or is about to hit the wall. And to answer her question, the good guys aren't into women dating 3 men at once, even during the talking phase, so she might as well order a lifetime supply of wine because she's going to need to drink herself to sleep for the next 50 years.
Heartfelt story of how in 11th grade I became a school slut. I just moved across country and started at a new school. I had exactly one friend. We'll call her Shady, because she was a shady fucking bitch. She started dating a senior boy and didn't want to hang out with me, which is fine. She got all these new cool friends and they didn't like me because I was new and a girl, and I guess that's enough reason. Well, Shady started telling everybody that I fucked a bunch of people, and I was like, what the heck? How? Who? I literally sit at home and watch Harry Potter. I have no friends. Nonetheless, they'd taunt me in the hallways and be like, you slut. Or they'd follow me to the classroom and be like, we're gonna beat your ass. They'd message me on Facebook and be like, we're gonna kill you. And I'd be like, why don't you like me? And they'd be like, die. And I'd be like, okay, fair enough. So I got tired of the bullshit. I was like, I'm gonna become the one thing they fear the most. A real whore. So shortly after, I made one other new friend. His name was Juan, and he was great, and I loved him, and he would invite me to all the parties. I'd go to these parties to get drunk and make out with the guys that these girls liked. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty petty, but yeah. So when I would return to school after the weekend, they'd be like, you're a whore. I'd be like, true. There's really no moral to the story, but if you can't go high, just go really fucking low and beat bitches at their own game.
I don't think that's a flex this bird brain thinks it is. WHORE is the lowest female out there, dating-wise, besides a single mom. And women usually don't tell the whole truth when they're voluntarily confessing something, so I highly doubt it was just making out at parties, where there's underage drinking for sure. This female has ruined the rest of her life calling herself an HOE because no man she'd respect would want to be known as the sucker who married the neighborhood bike, where everyone got a turn for free. It's fun in games now while she's young and attractive, but when she hits the wall, she'll find out her true relationship value the hard way, which is no value. I'm pretty sure even at her age now, no man of worth is going to commit to her. Men love to feel special, and there's no amount of gaslighting and lying she can do to cover up the fact that she referred to herself as an HOE. So many females in the comment section relate to this 304. Can we be best friends? This is amazing. Yes, you're my soul sister. This is everything. I love this so much. Just shows how trash women in the feminist West really are. A simp comments, when I have a daughter and they have problems with bullying, I'll show them this TikTok. Bruh. And this is why the younger generations that have a father are still turning out to be 304s. Because the fathers are weak, betas, misguided, or are not red-pilled. If people, especially other females, are calling your daughter a 304, it's probably because she's acting like one, which means she needs to stop.
So today I'm going to be showing you guys the most basic dorm room UCLA offers. And I want you guys to guess how much UCLA is charging their students to live in this dorm. So let me show you guys inside. Keep in mind this is the smallest dorm at UCLA and it is the cheapest. So welcome inside. Right when you come in, there's a bunch of storage. So let me show you guys inside. Come over here. You can see how much room. You can fit so many clothes inside, which is perfect. And you also have more space in here. So come along. Every person gets a bunk bed and a desk and then closet space, as I mentioned. So you can just keep coming along. I know it's really small, but this dorm actually has the best view. Let me show you. Let's see those dumpsters. Another thing to mention is that the students in this dorm rented the fridge and microwave from the university. It cost $600. Now, I have a question for you guys. How tall do you think I am? I can stand like this and touch both sides of the beds. So all of the rooms on this floor share this bathroom. And as you can see, there are a bunch of different stalls, so you will not need to wait for a turn in the shower. There is so much room in this bathroom, so although there are about 30 people sharing this bathroom, it is quite spacious. And as you go this way, it is where all of the toilets are.
$600 to live like the kids of a deadbeat single mom who can only afford a 2-bedroom apartment but has at least 2 kids, which means they have to share a room with bunk beds. They're trading their prime years to eventually become a barista at Starbucks because their degrees are worthless, no matter if it's from a top college like UCLA. 50 years ago, women their age already owned their own house because they got married to a hardworking man. But feminism happened, and now this is so-called progress, sharing a small room with 4 other adults like they're in a summer camp. It's crazy how in the USA it's still common to share. Here and in a lot of other countries, everyone gets their own. In other countries, not everyone gets to go to college, and it's not a Ponzi scheme yet. Meaning, especially in the developing countries, only the best and brightest get to go to college to actually study a real discipline, not women's gender studies for LGBTQ literature or teaching. That's a luxury compared to my dorm. They're getting charged more for less, and have compound interest on those loans, meaning if they pay the minimum on those loans, it'll double and triple the original cost. These young women are going to be debt slaves for the rest of their lives. There's no men that save them because of the MGTOW reality. My dorm is smaller than this, and I pay $22,000 a year for it. These females can't even do basic math. $22,000 per year is a house down payment.
5 ways women lose a good man and how you can avoid it. Let's get into it, ladies. Number 1, taking them for granted. A man been so good to you for so long, you no longer see the value in him and what he does for you. Number 2, not communicating well or effectively, like expecting a man to read your mind and getting mad when he can't. Number 3, being dismissive about how your behavior makes him feel, or becoming overly defensive when you're being held accountable for your action. Rumor has it that women struggle with accountability. Number 4, being self-consumed and unwilling to compromise. Being so hyper-focused on your laundry list of needs, desires, wants, that you neglect his needs in the process. Remember, a relationship is not just about you or one person getting their needs met. And number 5, allowing your unaddressed trauma, your insecurity, make it hard for that man to enjoy his life and pursue his purpose in peace. Becoming insufferable.
Number 1 way to lose a good man is to act masculine, which is the way you're acting right now. Men don't want to be married to another man. They want a soft-spoken lady who's their peace and helps them relax. Every time this female opens her mouth, no matter how inspiring her speech is, she gives off nagging vibes. It's like she tells you to take out the trash every time you hear her voice. These females need a mute button because literally quiet is more valuable than their bimbo thoughts. And this female addressed the super basic requirements, which just shows how bad it is to date in the West. Nothing about cooking and cleaning for the man or actually making him happy. It's, to sum it up, stop being a self-centered bitch.
My biggest regret in life is getting my tubes tied. And it's not just because I want to get pregnant again. Doctors will promise you that it's not hormonal. It is. And it's caused my hair to fall out at a very alarming rate, weight gain, and not being able to lose that weight. And let's not even get started with the fucking periods. My periods are so bad after getting this procedure done that I have to get iron infusions because I'm severely anemic because of the amount of blood I am losing during my period. My doctor's solution, getting back on birth control to control the bleeding. That defeats the fucking purpose. I got this done so that I didn't need birth control because it's really bad for your body. Truth be told, I would have rather just stayed on birth control because the effects that this has had on me is worse. If you're on a birth control that you don't like, you can stop taking it or you can have it removed. Once you get your tubes tied, you're stuck unless you pay $6,000 to get them untied. And when I said that in my last video, because I made a video saying I regretted getting my tubes tied because I wanted more children, that is true. But I said that I wasn't paying $6,000 to have it reversed. Everybody was like, well, if you can't afford to pay $6,000, you can't afford to have another child. No, I just don't see a point in paying $6,000 for a 10-minute procedure that you only have a 50% chance of even getting pregnant again. Because doctors will tell you that there's a 75% chance you can get pregnant after getting them untied. My doctor told me it was way less than that. It was only about 50%. And that's another thing. These doctors are not fully transparent with you. I did a lot of research and I was aware of the negative side effects. When I brought it up to my doctor, he assured me that that's not true. And so I went ahead and got this done. And I wish I didn't. Depression. My depression is worse. Way worse. My anxiety is way worse. My mood swings is way worse. Most women who get this procedure end up needing a full hysterectomy. Speaking of hysterectomies, I would have gotten a hysterectomy, but most doctors will not do it unless it's medically necessary. I did my research because I really only wanted to go through with this because I was told that it was not hormonal. When you do your research, it'll tell you that it's not hormonal. And your doctors will tell you that it's not hormonal and that it does not affect your periods. It's a lie. It does affect your hormones tremendously. And if you read the comments on that video that I made, it's pinned, you will see that it affects your hormones. And all these things that your doctors promise it doesn't do, it does. And I know every woman's body is different. You know, some women get this procedure done and they have no issues. But there are a lot of risk factors that come with this, and they're very common. Sex drive. Since getting my tubes tied, I hate the thought of sex. I kind of have a case of a dry down there, okay? That's also very common. Most women end up being put back on birth control to control the bleeding, which again defeats the purpose and is what my doctor tried to get me to do. A lot of women experience depression, anxiety, lower sex drive, hair loss, all these different things. And doctors tell you that it's not because of hormones, but let me show you this. Some doctors speculate the lingering problems could be the result of hormone loss or other undiagnosed conditions. Hormone loss. How would that happen? I don't know, probably because getting your tubes tied affects your hormones. And I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do with their body. You know, it's your body. It may work really well for you. I'm just going off my experience, and I'm going off the experience of many other women who have commented the negative experiences they have had after getting their tubes tied. Doctors are not fully transparent with you. They don't tell you the truth. And when you look on Google to do your own research, one thing tells you it affects your hormones, one thing tells you it doesn't. There's no definite answer in anything. And obviously there's not going to be, because like I said, every woman's body is different. But these are just things that I want you to take into consideration if you are thinking about getting this procedure done, because I wish I hadn't.
I'd imagine tying the tubes signals to the body that it's all downhill from now. If there's no way to create babies anymore, then screw it. No need to try to attract a man either. Hence why the hair is falling out already. It doesn't know that she did this so she can have more bedroom fun and not get pregnant. And there's a natural thing called menopause, but I guess these females can't wait that long. Modern feminism has convinced women that these critical body functions like periods are an inconvenience. When things like periods cleanse the body of toxins, which is one reason why women live longer than men, and it allows them to have kids. Who would have thought stopping a natural body function will have serious side effects? Who would have thought these doctors would lie to make money? It's not like Big Pharma gives them kickbacks for prescribing patients various drugs. It's not like they don't have a second sports car and medical school loans to pay off. It's not like Big Pharma will hire attractive female reps to promote products by sleeping with the doctors. Yep, I've talked to 2 other people and all of our periods are horrendous after a tubule. And Doc said it wouldn't affect anything. Play stupid games and win stupid prizes. I got my tubes removed and it is the worst mistake I've ever made. Let's face it, most females today do this or take birth control pills so they can sleep around even more. At least with the risk of a pregnancy, they're either forced to use a condom or be more selective with the men they choose to do the dirty deed with. I removed my tubes at 25, and yes, my period is horrible. I lost so much hair. Yo, hormonal acne too, like wah. Damn, these females are practically ending themselves so young just to be a 304. They're going to be miserable for 60 years just so they can have fun for maybe a decade. This is why I'm so nervous about vasectomies, especially when feminism promotes it. If you had one, let us know in the comments if there's any side effects you wish you'd have known before getting it done. I personally don't want to end my chance of passing along my seed in the future.
Ladies, chivalry is absolutely dead. I've got female clients coming up to me telling me that men's dating behavior has changed, that they are no longer offering to pick them up, helping them in their jackets, or doing anything that a gentleman would do. And on top of that, most men do not want to commit towards a serious relationship. But the problem is, that is exactly what women want. Commitment. All that men are saying nowadays on dating apps is, hey, you want to Netflix and chill at mine? Or, hey, you want to hang out later, I'll come to yours? Whose fault is that? That is absolutely 100% our fault. That is purely women's fault. If you're going to their house after just a couple of days or a couple of weeks and doing what you gotta do, that is not proper dating behavior. Women make it way too easy for men nowadays to simply get laid. We are coming over to their house like a free pizza for them to enjoy. Who wants to put in effort for a free ordered pizza? Nobody, right? Why would he change that behavior? Men would be absolute idiots to put in more effort and get the same thing, right? Most likely, men after a few days, few weeks, they are already pulling back effort. No more text messages, no more good mornings, no more good nights. Most of the time, they won't even tell you that they don't want commitment. You are just feeling it. That is heart-wrenching, but so logical. You are feeling no effort, no commitment, low commitment, and hoping for things to change. I have a client who told me that, he spent the night at her house, they did what they gotta do. In the morning, he had to leave a little bit earlier than she did. What did she do? She made him breakfast. Why are you doing that? What has he put on the table? For what are you doing that? You are doing that because you're building on potential and hoping that things might change. You're thinking to yourself, if I treat him the way I want to be treated, he will start understanding that I am girlfriend material. You're thinking, if I have the best sex in the world with him, he will start committing more. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, honey, but it ain't gonna change. It is what it is, and he's not gonna start committing more. You are giving him full boyfriend privileges, hoping that he's going to be your boyfriend, whilst he is sure that all you are is a little fling. He is getting full content without any subscription. He's getting all the wifey privileges without putting in any wifey effort. He's not even putting in girlfriend effort. He's putting in zero effort. So if we want things to change in men's dating behavior, 2023, 24, 25, for all the future ladies in this world, we need to pull on one string. Now, what does that mean? The more commitment he puts in, the more effort you can add. If he tells you that he doesn't want a relationship, listen to him. Now, don't try to read between the lines and try to change him. Listen to what he's telling you. Accept it, say thank you, next, and move on gracefully. It's not about playing silly games like not answering his text messages for 3 hours or random things like that. It's about restoring an equilibrium of effort and equilibrium of commitment on both sides. You are not putting in more than you are getting. You have to wait for the guy to put in a little effort to then give him a little privilege. He puts in more effort, he gets more privileges. That is a natural way of building a healthy relationship. It's about knowing your worth. It's about not handing him over a free prize without him having to put in any effort. Don't forget, men biologically like to hunt. It's in their genes. If you're giving yourself away for free, it's nothing special to them. If you're making them work for it, the more that he has to put in effort, the more worthy you will be for him, the more special you will be. This is what you want. You want to be special and not a free pizza.
Like always, this dating coach is talking about how females are allowing Chads and Tyrones smash the very day they meet, while these females are demanding these regular guys, including great guys, to jump through a ton of hoops and spend a ton of money on them just to date them. That's one reason why chivalry is dead, because most guys realize they're treating 304s like real honorable women. Chivalry isn't just men being courteous and wooing a female the old-fashioned way. She needs to act like a lady by being polite, soft-spoken, cheerful, and honorable, which means she can't be dating anyone else, or even talking to anyone else while she's being courted by one man who's given her these benefits. These females aren't cooking food for a picnic date in the park. No, They're demanding a restaurant with at least a $100 bill. Men as a whole acted the way they should and stopped giving modern women chivalry because they don't deserve it. Feminism itself is against the principles that chivalry was founded on, yet these feminists love these chivalry benefits. They seem to forget they're strong and independent when they're dating. And what this dating coach is getting wrong is that modern women love the chase. They love to try to be that female that tames the bad boy or player. They firstly go after the men that they aren't qualified to be with. Secondly, they're addicted to drama and trauma. So the more these top men treat them like trash and cheat on them, the more thrill they get going through all the emotions. It's like they're living in their own drama fantasy. And thirdly, what this dating coach isn't getting is that these females aren't even giving the Chads and Tyrone's wife privileges because they don't cook and clean. Two guys make similar comments. I've tried to help some ladies, happened 2 times, on the London Underground with their huge luggages. Do you think I'm not able to do it? Was the reply. I used to be old school, but I got yelled at for opening doors. I can open my own doors, and being called a creep for opening a door and waiting. Yeah, many of these females only want chivalry from the top 10% men who will pump and dump them, not from the average hardworking guy unless if it's a monetary benefit. Dude comments, our effort is a direct reflection of what we see as your value. Your value is based on what you are. Exactly. Like I said, men aren't giving 304s traditional benefits anymore. Hell, most have checked out of the dating scene in one way or the other, even if they're not aware of MGTOW.
I ain't doing that. I'm just gonna suck it up, keep it pushing, thug it out. You know what I'm saying? That's the way what I do. I enjoy crying. I'm gonna put it like that. I'd rather cry every now and then before I feel like I'm crazy and I gotta go sit and talk to somebody. Hell no, I ain't crazy. I'm just hurt. When the motherfuckers hurt, they cry.
This is the life of a single mom. She wanted to be a baddie and let thugs hit it raw. Now she's a single mom for life because they've definitely quitted after they hit it. A lot of this is massive cope because no one is going to save her, especially with MGTOW.
I gotta step y'all game up. Y'all are losing to these dudes that's in the damn prison system, okay? I was on TikTok last night and I ran across a live. It was like 4 dudes that was in the feds. So I just tapped in to be nosy to see what they were talking about. Do y'all know it's like, it was thousands of girls on there, like being so fucking thirsty, asking these locked up dudes, oh, what's your JPay? I want to see you some money. I want to come see you. I want to be your pen pal. And these niggas is winning. Like, they taking all the bitches, the bad ones too. Like, y'all dudes on the streets that step y'all game up, y'all are losing terribly.
In the name of black love, I'm about to hijack this plane so I can do 10 to 15 in the pen.
That just proves the fact that these females are so numb from being banged out, and they need the risk of death like dealing with felons to climax. This is why Pookies and Ray Rays seem to get a lot of thoughts, especially the ones who look like good girls today. They look like good girls, but under persona, they can get away with a lot more because no one suspects it. They're the real Decepticons. It's easy to spot a 304 with tattoos, brightly colored hair, as if she was part of a Joker criminal group, and piercings. You'd have to be blind to miss those red flags. And back to her point, I agree men need to be more masculine, by working out, dealing with hardship, learning survival skills, learning to fight, but they shouldn't waste it on these bedwenches in the West. Becoming more masculine will supercharge your dating or marriage life in a traditional country. An ex-felon commented, as an ex-prison dude, we had all day to think about what to say and write to these bops. Work out all day. I'm out here making money now. Women are afar. And that's another reason why these females might be so interested in the prison D, because they're as close to the mythical loyal alpha as possible. They're in prison so they can't cheat, unless if it's with a female bodyguard, and yes, that does happen. Male prisons will have female guards, and ironically, a high percentage of them end up getting fired and arrested for getting pregnant by an inmate, doing X-rated acts to inmates, helping gangs smuggle in drugs or other contraband, having relationships with them as well. That's a different video. A lot of these females get used up by criminals. Then, when they're a single mom, they give the outstanding citizen that they'd call a square and lame all of their life a shot to date them.
Okay, a little less brutal this time. Do you like dinner?
Do you like dinner?
It's so bad.
What is wrong with you?
Why am I such a bad cook?
Why are you so bad lately?
I think we should go to like Kava or Chipotle or something.
Absolutely.
This is so bad.
What the heck?
It's so nasty.
God, we'll try again tomorrow.
You can't build a future with someone like this because you can't be eating out all the time. Cooking has never been easier in history. There are free videos online showing how to cook step by step. She doesn't even have to read, just monkey see, monkey do. But apparently, that's even too complex for this bird brain. Is cooking rice in the cooker and scrambling some eggs after you cook sausage on a frying pan that hard? There's something decent to eat. Rice with scrambled eggs and sausage. Nothing too complex. Get some barbecue sauce, maybe add some shredded cheese on top. It's not a gourmet dish, but it's better than whatever she made in the video. This is what being married to your best friend means. And that's the problem. These females think marriage is some kind of friendship. A relationship is more like a structure of a company. There's one leader and everyone else follows. It's not one big friendship. The man has to set standards that the women may not like, but in the long run, his discipline makes it work. For example, if he's working a hard-ass job for 6 figs, outside in the hot sun working on an oil rig, he'd want to expect a good hot meal for dinner when he comes home to relax, to give him something to look forward to. How is he going to be motivated to work that job if she cooks him something gross for dinner? Another comment. You handle his critique so well. I'd cry. Dude made it a lighthearted joke. If he was honest, he'd call her worthless and maybe cuss her out. And if he had standards, he'd leave her or kick her out of the house. But because getting laid is hard to come by in the West, when you're not a Chad or Tyrone or rich or famous, he's got to accept less than mediocrity. MGTOW is the better option because he's living with the laughingstock of the world, also known as a modern woman. Another comment. I do this sometimes. My hubby will still eat it even when I won't. What a sad situation. Accidentally burning the food once in a blue moon is understandable. We all make mistakes, and everyone has a bad day. But it sounds like she does it on a regular basis, and the husband swallows his pride along with the junk she made. Yet the husband can't half-ass the bills or do nothing if someone breaks into the house. No wonder why men are getting their passports.
We're dinks. We go to Trader Joe's and workout classes on the weekends.
We're dinks. We get into snobby hobbies like skiing and golfing.
We're dinks. We can go to Florida on a whim.
We're dinks. We're already planning our European vacation next year.
Dinks. We get a full 8 hours of sleep and sometimes more.
We're dinks. We get desserts and appetizers at restaurants.
We're dinks. We can play with other kids and give them back.
We're dinks. We still do it 3 times a week.
We're dinks. We spend our discretionary income on $8 lattes.
We're dinks. We max out our 401ks, Roth IRAs, and HSAs.
We're dinks. We don't use our kids or dog as an excuse to leave a party. We just leave.
If you don't know what DINK means, it's an acronym for dual income, no kids. This is the most liberal couples today, especially limousine liberal couples. The yuppie types that actually can afford the $10 Starbucks coffees. And I've got a newsflash for the guy in the video or the males of this trend. If a woman says she doesn't want kids, that means she doesn't want kids from you. If you were high value enough, she'd be trying to get pregnant at every second to lock down your commitment. Because I promise, there's a man that yuppie feminist in the video has been with, who has alpha widowed her, and she'd go back to it in a heartbeat to be with him, especially if it meant that she has to have his kid or kids. Most women who opt out of having kids regret it for the rest of their life. And I hate to say this to childless men, but if you don't pass on your genes, you've cucked yourself. I know it's the West and with all the bad laws plus low quality women, but if you're a winner, you gotta become a passport bro to pass on your genes. Too many stupid people are having kids. Top comment says, we're dinks with high-paying jobs, but the only thing I can relate to is the free time and the sleep. Seattle expenses take all my money. What's the point of living life in a super expensive feminist city? You're just a slave at that point, working to live. My hubs and I are dinks, and it's allowed me to take a lower-paying job as an artist full-time, and that's everything. That man's future generation is on hold, so this feminist can be lazy to do a hobby as for work. If she was a stay-at-home wife or mom, she can be an artist all she wants after she's cleaned and cooked and taken care of the kids. Especially when the kids get old enough to look after themselves, then she can pursue her hobbies like art and actually enjoy them, like they were meant to be. I know she's lazy, but even being a professional artist can take the fun out of the art. It's not the art that she wants to do, it's the art that whoever pays the most wants. I hate to burst her feminist utopia fantasy of being a hipster artist. Had my dink era until 35, and now about to welcome our first baby. The best feeling. She just had a geriatric pregnancy because 90% of her eggs at 30 are gone. Now her kid has a higher chance of having health problems. This is the danger of waiting, and it's all because she was selfish. There's a correlation to the younger the mom kids are born from, the higher probability that they'll be healthier and smarter. Here's the proof. It says, the firstborn scored higher on tests including reading and picture vocabulary, which according to the researchers...
One thing for anybody who has gone through divorce or anybody who has left somebody and you look back, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Yeah. It's so much easier to make excuses for the bad circumstance that you're in or the bad situation. Oh, it's just right now, or he's going through something, or it's just a phase we're going through. But at the end of the day, your intuition, your gut, and who you really want to be will always be there to nudge you and move you. And until you move it.
She's the one who demanded to marry a high-value, high-profile man. That comes with consequences, like him being a player. And the fact that he's a player made him more attractive because she wanted to be the one who locked him down. Her ego drove her to be the female by his side, so she can dunk on other females, and her super high entitlement, also known as standards, wanted to live a luxury lifestyle. These females just can't accept the fact that they're not the only one. A man that high caliber should be spread in his seed. Also, these high-profile men live life on their own terms. It's get on his program or he'll find a younger and more attractive female who will. So that's why she's crying, because she can't control or manipulate the man. She should have accepted those consequences and enjoyed life. Because at the end of the day, he chose to commit to her. She took the top spot that plenty of thoughts are fighting for. But because the feminist society pumped so much smoke up her ass, she ruined it for herself. Good job, you just played yourself. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you'll get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video. Till next time.